At midnight, I cut through an old mountain road to save time. A lone car appeared ahead. When I realized I should never have looked outside, it was already too late. On a mountain road at night, the truly frightening thing is not what you happen to see. It is the thing everyone sees, and still no one stops. That night, I made the mistake of following the car in front of me. Ever since, whenever I see red taillights, I remember the darkness of that pass. That day, I left a friend's house in a neighboring prefecture very late. I wanted to get home as soon as I could, so I took an old mountain road I normally avoided. After a few days of rain, that road was usually closed. Even in daylight, the trees leaned over it and made it dim. But that night, the chain at the entrance had been pulled aside. The road was unnaturally quiet. Several small, crumbling Jizo statues stood along the shoulder. Whenever my headlights hit them, they looked like people sitting there with their heads bowed. I was tired. I wanted to get home more than I cared about the bad feeling. The road was narrow, full of bends, and I was driving a little faster than usual. Then I saw red taillights far ahead. Someone else was on this road at this hour, I thought. But as I caught up, I realized the car was strangely slow. The road was too narrow to overtake it. I cursed under my breath, kept my distance, and followed it. Before long, I was close enough to make out what kind of car it was. That was when I noticed a long, thin shape on its roof. At first, I thought it was a ladder or a board tied down, but on every curve, the shape did not sway like cargo. It tilted left and right, as if twisting its own body. In the darkness, with no streetlights, a pale arm flashed into the headlights for just a second. It was not cargo. It was a woman. She was sitting astride the roof of the car ahead. She was not clinging to it. She was moving with the sway of the car as if she were playing. My windows were closed. Even so, I thought I heard a dry, ragged laugh carry into my car. I could not make sense of it. Why was the car in front not stopping? Had the driver not noticed? Or had the driver noticed and still could not stop? I did not know. I only felt that if I looked away, something worse would happen. So I kept following. As we reached a sharp right-hand bend, the woman on the roof arched her upper body far back. A moment later, a dull crash echoed from around the bend. When I came out of the curve, the car ahead was lying on its side at the edge of the road. Only one headlight was still on, pointing down into the valley. I pulled over just past the curve. The moment I stopped, I felt I had done something I should never have done. Should I get out? Should I just call it in and wait? I was still hesitating when it happened. The car creaked just a little. I looked beside me. On the window visor above the driver's side window, pale fingers were hooked over the edge. Thin fingers, strangely pale. Only the skin around the nails was dark, as if it were wet with rain. My breath stopped. By reflex, I pressed the brake again, but the car began to slide forward, slowly. The gear lever would barely move. The parking brake would not move at all, as if it had frozen solid. It felt as though something was pushing me. Then the car began to roll downhill, as if it had a will of its own. I tried to look only ahead, but strands of hair began to hang down from the top edge of my field of vision. An upside-down forehead appeared at the edge of the windshield, then eyebrows, then, even in the dark, two wet, shining eyes. Those eyes were looking at me. not blinking, almost happy. From the roof, I heard something shift its weight. Creak, creak. Then I felt something behind me, too. In the rearview mirror, I saw the sunroof shade slide open by itself. Beyond the closed glass, a white hand pressed down, flattening against it as if the roof had become thin paper. I could feel the car's interior shrinking around me, darker than the night outside. Up ahead, I saw a long, straight downhill stretch. On the side of the road, a gravel emergency escape ramp opened like a mouth in the dark. That was the only place. The instant I thought that, the woman's laugh rang out clearly right there inside the car. It was at my ear. It was just behind my back. A voice with no distance to it. I screamed and wrenched the wheel. Just before I plunged into the gravel, I saw an upside-down face in the corner of the mirror. One side of the pale face was smeared with mud and lost in shadow. Only the mouth was smiling, far too wide. Just before the outstretched arm touched my shoulder, my vision went pure white. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a hospital, an ordinary room with pale gray light coming in. 2 days had passed since the accident. Apparently, I had been brought in unconscious. They told me I was going to live, but the cold lodged deep in my chest would not go away. A nurse asked me several times, indirectly, if I had seen anything during the accident. That bothered me too. Later, I heard that the driver of the car in front of me had not survived. When the driver was found, they said the driver's face was twisted with terror. The next day, I was moved from a private room to a shared one. In the bed across from me was an elderly man. He was speaking quietly with a grandchild who had come to visit. When he realized I had been asking about the accident on the pass, he told me an old story about that road. Long ago, he said, small stone Buddhas had been placed along the pass to watch over travelers who might not make it home. A few years earlier, some young people went there on a dare. They knocked some of the statues over and frightened drivers for fun. One of them, a young woman, died there that night. The old man did not say her name. He only said that since then, even when the road should be closed, the chain is sometimes found unhooked. And some cars that take that road do not reach the other side. I could not laugh it off as a made-up story. If anything, after hearing it, the back of my neck felt heavy. I wanted to clear my head, so I walked to the wash basin by the doorway. Then a small voice spoke behind me. "Grandpa, why is there a woman on that person's back?" My heart missed a beat. Slowly, I looked into the mirror. Just behind my shoulder, a thin face was leaning close. It had the same eyes I had seen through the windshield that night. Only the corners of its mouth were lifting, warped into a smile. A pale hand rested lightly against my throat. My breathing went shallow. In the mirror, the woman was close enough for her breath to touch my ear, and just like that night, she was smiling.